I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, true believers? Welcome to the Believes Crypto Show. My name is Believes, and we're here to talk about this crazy crypto world. And the question today is crypto going to resume its bullish momentum since the government has now reopened? Not only has the government reopened, but we've gotten a timeline for XRP ETFs, which will be launching imminently. We've got a timeline for Solana. They will be launching imminently. Not only that, we finally have the first domino to fall. The amount of bullish momentum currently in this market is actually second to none. And we've got, by the way, if you hear drilling, I have some repairs being done. So, yeah. Anyway, hasn't been a lot, but every once in a while it flares up. I got a room being worked on. So make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Might be a little bit of interference back there. Also, if you haven't, share this on X with everybody, et cetera, et cetera. Let's get people in here. Let's start engaging in a conversation. Now, I'm going to be doing some giveaways. For those of you that don't know, I want to make a quick announcement here to get this started. If you guys remember the other day, we were talking about a crypto called Black, and it was Black Swan Event. Black Swan Event is no more, and it is being folded over into Blocky. Blocky is now up 60% on the day. Looks like it's having a nice little move. So maybe we'll see a little bit of gain off of Blocky in the next little while. Still early. But in the meantime, I'm going to be giving away. I've got some Blocky NFTs that I'm going to be giving away. I think we were talking about maybe I would start doing it today. But Roger, if you're out there, I think we're going to do a competition for this. And it's going to be for tomorrow. We're going to do the competition for tomorrow. And then we're going to give away some Blocky NFTs. I have a couple by myself, but I'm going to have some more for you guys. And we'll see what happens. So let's get into the big news first. SoFi has become the first nationally chartered U.S. bank to offer crypto trading. Remember, what did I tell you guys was going to happen? What did I say was going to be the big thing in this market? And at some point, we're going to be dealing with banks taking over crypto, and you're not going to be using centralized exchange in order to buy your crypto. You're just going to be using your banking app, which is why Coinbase now has a bank charter or is working on a bank charter, which is why Crypto.com currently is working on or has a bank charter. All of these reasons are really, it's just what I told you guys a long time ago that was going to manifest itself. It is now manifesting itself, and we're seeing it start. The first domino just fell. SoFi, first nationally chartered bank to offer crypto trading. So with that being the case, expect to see quite a few more getting in here and getting off the block with their big moves in the next couple of days, weeks, and months, because crypto is now inevitable. Not only that, we had JP Morgan come out the other day, Jamie Dimon, offering crypto services to his holders, where before he didn't want anything to do with it. Also up, a new draft of the crypto market structure bill just came out, and here's everything that you need to know right now. Crypto market structure bill defines digital commodity as a fungible blockchain-based asset that enables peer-to-peer transfers without intermediaries. This excludes stablecoins, NFTs, and meme coins, resolving authority wars between the CFTC and the SEC. The bill grants CFTC jurisdiction over spot markets, requiring registration for brokers, dealers, exchanges, and custodians. These are all fair so far. Key mandates include anti-manipulation safeguards, segregated customer funds, cybersecurity protocols, and chief compliance officers to prevent fraud. Open source developers and self-custody wallets finally get exemptions from money transmitter rules. The crypto market structure bill provides individuals the right to hold and transact digital assets directly without relying on intermediaries. These are huge moves. And by the way, these are great moves for DeFi. Now, for Bitcoin, the crypto market structure bill has the most pro-Bitcoin federal language defining Bitcoin as a digital commodity. He added the bill creates fully regulated CFTC-supervised spot Bitcoin exchanges, boosting trust in spot Bitcoin infrastructure among Wall Street firms. Guys, it cannot be more bullish than what you are watching right now, okay? So, and by the way, my video today for Terra Luna Classic, for those of you who don't know, was a little bit of a breakdown on Bitcoin, because it is my belief right now that Bitcoin goes through the futures gap. Futures gap sitting at 104,000. We should see a breakdown to at least 104,000, maybe a little bit deeper depending on the liquidity. And then I should suspect we're going to see a reversal and not a drop below 100,000. The reason for that is because of all of the reasons that we're getting right here. Remember, we're selling off into good news. What did we get this morning? We got the government reopening. We got the good news. We got everything that we're looking for. So what's happening? The market is now selling off. They're pricing everything for the future. Now, that means profit taking along the way, which is happening. And by the way, if you look at Fibonacci right now, it's coming down into that 0.45, 0.5 range, which is where you typically see a significant bounce. So it's playing out picture perfect right now. So until it breaks structure, expect to see a reversal and a big move coming up. Maybe, again, might not be today, might be later today, might be when the U.S. market is done, or it might be at any moment. Okay. So I think we were down about 65 to $70 billion on the day. We were at 30 billion down. Matter of fact, by the way, huge swing today. We were up 40 billion at one point in the market. We're now down 60 or 70 billion. Could be up to 100 billion by the time it's all said and done. Don't know yet. We're gonna have to see when that gap gets filled. Then I would suspect that there's going to be a reversal. They're filling that gap for a reason, by the way. They're not filling that gap for it to dump even harder. So bears are going to be in control until we get there. Bulls are probably going to start fighting back at that point, but they want to see it get into that range. Also up, Uniswap price pumped 21% on fee switch and token burn proposal, now eyeing a $15 target. Uniswap prices rallied 21% after breaking key resistance and exiting a long-term downtrend. This is just the start of one of the projects starting to reverse their trend. Does it make it bullish? I think so. So I'm going to be watching for this for a breakout for Uniswap over the next couple of days. Also, SWI price. Analyst eyes a $20 SWI amid a Bluefin partnership and 2 million token lending deal. So what's going on? The SWI price has drawn significant attention after rebounding from $1.80 to $2.10, a level many analysts view as a strong accumulation area. In the meantime, the SWI Bluefin merger has brought new hope to the institutional growth of the network. This association seems to be building trust in professional investors, which is an indication of increased trust in the basics of the project. And don't forget, this project is partnered with Franklin Templeton, not just Bluefin. Franklin Templeton, a very, very large capital. Oh my God, I forgot the word, wealth management fund. Oh my God, I just forgot it all of a sudden. According to the market analyst on an X post, the SWI prices entered a strong reaccumulation in the $1.60 to $2 demand zone. The current SWI price sitting around $2.09. He further says that he observed that SWI is organized in a similar fashion as the structure of past setups. Notably, liquidity grabs were followed by parabolic expansion in these setups every single time. By the way, this is what the entire market looks like. All right, we're hitting the bottom of ranges right now, which means if we break below those ranges, maybe the bull market's over. Okay, and it's going to be fair to say, I don't think that it is, but it would be fair to say at that point, if you broke structure, then perhaps that's going to happen. You can see that big wick that happened over there on Wintermute didn't even last a day. Okay, but you saw the breakdown of the market still pricing in the fear that Wintermute is going to dunk on everybody one more time. Stunt on these hoes, as I'm told the children say. So what's going to happen right now? I think SWI is probably set for a major catalyst and a major blow-off. According to Kobayashi, however, first time ever to own assets. This is Anthony Pompliano. Anthony Pompliano, for those of you that don't know, hasn't been right about shit in a year now, because remember, Anthony Pompliano was the first fondling the bees of Donnie T. Should I say Donnie D or Donnie T? I mean, I guess we can't say Donnie Dingbat. We got to say Donald Trump, right? Mr. President. That everything was going to go crazy. Everything's going to be awesome. Everything's going to be amazing. This is where we go to 250,000. And yeah, we didn't do that. So as a matter of fact, as of right now, we are basically right where we were when Donald Trump took office. So nothing that Anthony Pompliano said was going to come true has come true yet. Okay. However, I will say this, I'm on his side when it comes to the tariffs, and eventually, all of that stuff is going to start to break out, but we've got institutions who are still fearful. So market structure bill coming into place, ETFs coming into place. We shake out, get a few deals with some of these major countries, actual pen and wet ink deals where we actually sign them and we actually agree and trade principles, which, by the way, there are zero still at this point. Just so you guys understand, like, these deals are taking a little bit longer. That we have the structure in place for a lot of deals, but none of them have actually just been boom, it's done. So we should see, in principle, some big closes in the next couple of days. I should think governments reopen. Things are going to get hectic right now. Also, legal approvals for all kinds of different things. Duquan, December 13th, goes back to court. We could see a pardon at some point for Duquan. Imagine what would happen to Luna Classic price if Duquan ends up getting pardoned for any reason whatsoever. It's unbelievable. So, crypto funds saw negative 1.2 billion in net outflows last week, the second largest since March. This also marked the second consecutive weekly decline. Bitcoin led outflows at minus 900 million, Ethereum at minus 438 million, but Solana posted 118 million in positive inflows. So that does not mean, by the way, that people are looking at Solana as a better asset than Bitcoin or Ethereum. It just means that it's a brand new fund. It's a low fund. It's one of the only ones right now. It bypassed the normal order of business to get out there and listed. Get listed. So now it's got a lot of people speculating, but it's going to have outflows just like everything else. We shall see what happens over the next little while. But remember, we had this flow previously, and guess what? Eventually it reversed again and went absolutely crazy. So expect to see the same thing happening one more time. As far as bull market indicators, absolutely none have been hit, which means that we're still in that bullish momentum. Guys, I'm not saying that I'm right about this, all right? I'm going to be very, very clear with you about what I think. I think that the market is still going to absolutely explode. All the pieces from rate cuts to quantitative easing, from Bitcoin continued accumulation in a positive fashion despite outflows in the last week. The market structure hasn't broken yet. None of the pieces that you would say would lead to a bullish or a bearish thesis are playing out. People who are speculating about the top of the market, those are the ones. I told you guys exactly how the government shutdown was going to be orchestrated, and that by the end of the week that they would be making a deal. And by the way, it took one more week than what I said, but not only did it happen the way I said, if you go back and look, you will see that there is a list. The vote is 60 votes. It's not 70 votes. It's not 80 votes. It's not the Democrats saying, yeah, we're going to do that. It's people crossing the line at the behest of Chuck Schumer to make it 60 votes to reopen the government. That's what's going on. Now, the promise is from what I'm understanding from all the readings, is that John Thune has agreed to reopen the ACA and to talk about the continued subsidies. That's what the discussion, that's what the problem had been. And by the way, if the Republicans back down on this and Republicans do not negotiate the ACA in good faith, then guess what? Government's going to shut down in January one more time. Okay. Blocky AI agent says, check your ERC wallet NFTs. All right. So, and by the way, Roger, I did tell everybody we're going to do this tomorrow. I want to get some questions together, and I just didn't have time to get it together this morning. But we're going to do some giveaways. We're going to be giving away, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 10 blocky NFTs. All I'm going to need is we're going to have some competition here. And if you win, then you're going to get a blocky NFT. Blocky NFTs, going to be good for the future. Everything that we were doing before, from from any of these different meme coin projects that Roger's been coming up. All of them are based on bringing it back into Blocky, and that's what we're doing right now, especially with Black Swan. They've decided that they're going to close that project. They were looking for just a lift. They were just looking for a nice little lift, looking for some of the Blocky investors to get a nice little rip off of it. And now they're taking that money and they're moving it into the Blockyverse, which is why it's up 60% on the day. So shout out to everybody who's participating and who partakes. Also, channel, TerraCasino.io, Terraport.finance, and let's talk about the rest of the market now. So here we are, and boom. Uniswap now up 35%, Dash down 12, Zcash down 18, Arrow up 17. Big lender right now. Aerodrome Finance probably, look, I think Aerodrome, to me, it seems like they're kind of pumped as high as they're like. I'm not trying to dump on base or anything like that. But at this point, it just seems like to me that there's some other lenders out there that, you know, like Pendle, stuff like that. I think there's going to be a rotation into those. So if you missed Arrow this time, consider that there might be a rotation of capital into some of these other ones right now. Also, AIA down another 22%. Zebek up another 8%. I bought a bag of Zebek the other day, so I'm feeling good about that one so far. It was up 20% yesterday, up 8% today. Allo down 55%. The Pirates are down 20% on the day. Flux up 24. Get your capacitors out and let's get to 88 miles an hour. Bora, or is it 1.21 gigawatts? Giga, whatever. I'm not Jay-Z, you're Jay-Z. Alchemy's up 13% on the day, 15% for Siren. Bora, 13.8%, as we said before. I think Velodrome Finance up 29%. Again, another finance company, just like Aerodrome. I think these finance companies are going to really start to take off. I think that's a new asset class, by the way, lending. I think that's going to be one of those big asset classes that we're sleeping on right now that nobody's paying attention to. There's going to be RWA, there's going to be DPIN, but I think that lending is going to fall into its own little category for the purpose of running. Firo is up 26%. LSK is, that's Lisk, is up 42% on the day. Paparazzi is up, what the fuck? 27% on the day. Corn, where does corn come from? Oh yeah, it's right where I am. 16% on the day. Esports up 16%. Resolve 36%. Stable is up 16% on the day. By the way, if you're looking around, you will see Dev having a little bit of a run today. So if you're interested, certainly check that out. And if you want to know more about it, go see Randy Chavez. He will tell you exactly what's going on over there. Let's close that out. Fear and Greed Index still sitting at 26, still in the range of, look, this is accumulation period right now. This is your final opportunity before another run starts to happen. The reason it's down, look, the RSIs are getting, a matter of fact, I'll show you on the charts. Let's just get to that. Yesterday's outflows or inflows. We had inflows of $1 million. We had inflows of $1 million on the Bitcoin ETF yesterday. Unbelievable. It was the only report, by the way. We had outflows of no, I'm sorry, goddamn business. There was no flow one way or another yesterday, actually, other than, I don't know why that's reported like that. I don't know why they accumulated on that at that point. But yesterday we also had the Solana ETF was another 6 million. So yeah, interesting. So let's talk about where we are right now. This is the futures gap chart right now. We're at 104,475. We have not yet closed it, or actually, guess what? We just closed it a few minutes ago. Okay, so going into like 20 minutes ago, the CME futures gap is actually closed right now. Since then, we saw a spike back up to 104,700, and now we're seeing a little bit of sell back down into it. Again, I think we've closed the gap, so the reversal could be imminent right now. Don't know that it will, but I would suspect that we're probably going to see some upward momentum. Gap closed. That takes us over here. What are we looking at over here? We got our crossover right there. We got our move back up above 106,600, but it did not maintain. These are the hourly charts. This is not the daily. Look at the daily over here. I gave you this spot right here, and I said we got to close above 106.6 for bullish momentum. We have not closed above 106.6 yet, so it's going to take a big move to get back up into that range. We get back up into that range, and we'll have a good day going. Now, we're down 57 billion on the day. Dow Jones is up 73 points on the day, which means that the market so far seems to be okay, not great. SPY is down 2 points, or 0.33%. So there's a mix in the market right now. If we look at Dow Jones, let's see. NASDAQ slips in early trading after stocks soared to start the week. NVIDIA shares have dropped. By the way, I did see a thing that they were talking about in NVIDIA and how this last move just screwed NVIDIA. This last Donald Trump move just screwed NVIDIA. I don't know if I look this. I think this was a bad move ultimately from Donald Trump, but not because of Donald Trump. I think this was a bad move because he retaliated against what China was doing. And I think China was stalling for a specific purpose. So the reason, so what's the controversy? The controversy is, so NVIDIA used to sell these B30A chips to China, okay? They rejected the sale of the scaled down B30A chip, but NVIDIA had previously had approval for the H20 chip. H20 chip is a second tier chip, but China just bought more of them in order to run their computers and stuff like that, right? The Blackwell chip was completely blocked from being sold in China. So they got the H20. Well, then in the meantime, Huawei, whatever the fuck they're called, and some other Chinese organizations, they were working on their own chips. And now they have chips that are as good as the H20 chip. They no longer need NVIDIA. So when Donald Trump banned the chips going over there, and by the way, I'm pretty sure that the Biden administration did this originally, and then Trump, and then it expired or something like that, or something. Yeah, oh, the H20 chip. So the H20 chip, Donald Trump started giving them attitude. So then China banned the H20 chip. And you might say like, well, how are you going to build or anything like that? Well, it turns out when Trump did that, they were on the cusp of a little breakthrough, and then bang, it broke through. And now they have their own H20 chips. So NVIDIA got absolutely screwed on this deal. Again, it took the entire government being unfunctioning garbage mongrels to get this done. Okay. U.S. to block NVIDIA sale of scaled back AI chips to China. So that's what that's what the note was, that Trump administration was going to ban these. So China, they just made their own. So now NVIDIA has just lost billions of dollars worth of business because Trump was playing, 2D checkers while China's playing 4D chess. I don't know how else to put that. Like, when something crazy like that happens, then you just got to look and be like, what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? So we'll see whether or not something comes of it or not. Maybe this is just kind of a facade. Maybe this is just some posturing by China, but it is being said that their chips now rival the H20 chips. Does not rival the Blackwells. Okay. It should be noted. Does not rival or come anywhere close to the Blackwells, but it does come down to the H20s. So maybe this could be bad. Now, going down the list here, Ethereum is down 1%, still looking for that move to get you into that entry position. What I'm looking for, by the way, for that is a move up above and then a buy at 38 for a bounce right there. If you're looking to accumulate right now, I think you're too late into the move. If you're a betting man, you look at the pivot right there and you look at that move right there and you're right in the spot right here. If we're coming back down, we're coming back down to 3,200 very soon. I would set a buy at 3,300, maybe in that range, maybe even down at 3,250, just in case you get lucky enough. I think that we're going to bounce to 38, 39 over the next couple of days. It looks like, again, we filled this gap. I think the market wants to reverse. So, you know what I mean? SoFi Bank just sold all their Nvidia, $6 billion. Yeah. So look, if you screw up a company in America, Donald Trump, then you've screwed up the investment of that company as well in America, Donald Trump. So why don't you stop screwing up the investments in the country, Donald Trump, and just just stop using the word trillions. Trillions of dollars are coming into the market, yet we're losing billions of dollars in the market, and the trillions have yet to show up. So come on, man. BNB at 980, down 1% on the day. Solana down 3.5%. A lot of red candles, by the way. This is one of those days where I look at the markets, I look at the charts right now, and this looks like the U.S. market is going to absolutely grab as much liquidity as they can for another move. By the way, this move I think is going to be a big one. I think they're accumulating right now. Gold had a bounce from and guys, by the way, I told you 35 didn't even come down to 35, went down to 38. Looks like it's reversing right now. Now the question is it going to break out? And the RSI, the top over here, all of this stuff tells me that there could be a breakout on gold one more time. Remember, people are not buying gold because they love gold. People are buying gold because it's a protection against inflation. This is their hedge. This is people saying, I'm not happy with fiat currency right now. So Bitcoin also is one of those things where you're not happy with fiat currency, then you buy Bitcoin. But right now, people are choosing gold. They won't choose gold forever. They will switch to Bitcoin. It's inevitable. Okay. So, but going back down the list here, Link down to $15.88, down 2.5%, 3%. XRP down about 3%. SWE down 3%. Avalanche 2.5%. Near down 3%. HBAR down 4.5%. Arrow again having a positive day. Pendle down 4.5%. Pendle's another lender right there that I think is going to have a breakout moment. OM, for those of you that are wondering, OM is doing a 1-to-4 split. It's going to be Mantra instead of OM. Most of the exchanges are now part of it. So if you have, like me, if you have 20,000 tokens, you're just going to have 80,000 tokens when it's done. Still going to be, and it's going to be a quarter of the value. So it's going to be the exact same value. So if you have $1,000 worth, you're still going to have $1,000 worth. If you have 500 worth, you're still going to have 500 worth. And I think this is maybe the new broom sweeps clean sort of mantra, if you will. They switched the name to Mantra. They got rid of OM. It looks to me like a great opportunity for an accumulation and a revival of that project, down to about a 200 million market cap right now, or 120 million market cap, something like that. Decent market cap, but not what it was before, which was in the billions. That billions, by the way, was speculative. So let's remember, I'm not saying that the company that was generating billions of dollars has collapsed. A very highly speculative asset collapsed, and now it has to rebuild. Fundamentally speaking, though, it has quite a few partners, so I think that ultimately it will be fine. But the market conditions have made it very difficult for that massive recovery to happen. So in order to mask some of the problems with OM, they're rebranding to Mantra. So shout out to them. Devs up 1% on the day. Definity is down 5% on the day. Definity had a little bit of a sell-off over here. Definity actually had an announcement of they're going to do a live stream or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it was going to be. But yeah, again, the way that the Definity token worked, it was, you know what, as a matter of fact, let's go. We can actually look at it. Definity. So a quick progress update from the team. We know many of you are eager for a status update. Despite a packed schedule, he shared a snapshot across several key initiatives. First of all, Bloomsbury onboarding, minor technical friction with the underlying bank infrastructure caused a 1-month delay. These are routine integrations, not material, just time consuming. First accounts are now going properly live. They said properly live, so you know they're British, by the way. Electronic trading in small caps. This stream also took longer than anticipated, but initial accounts are now activating, and the foundational work is done. Momentum is building. Scaling outlook. Chris emphasized that onboarding the first clients is always the hardest part. With those hurdles behind us, they've already onboarded partners. Ramping up should be significantly smoother. Expect acceleration from here. Bloomsbury Money will bring in more clients and flow to the small cap. That means that people will be buying Definity tokens in order to save on their fees for doing Forex trading. Also, the bank model regulatory landscape progress with our original UK banking partner has impacted by regulatory uncertainty. The FCA's anticipated framework, originally January of 2025, has been pushed to January of 2026 and may slip further. This has made UK-based banks cautious. We're in advanced discussion with several alternative banking partners and have onboarded a dedicated advisor to drive this forward. Jersey regulator Tailwind, following a detailed consultancy process, Jersey regulator has signaled a more assertive stance on crypto, aiming to lead as global jurisdictions evolve. This is a major win for Definity. That means that Jersey's proactive approach gives Definity a strong regulatory tailwind as we bring systems online and scale operation. And there will be another AMA session with the founders in December of 2025. Thanks for your continued support. So you're going to see some updates. And by the way, I want you guys to know I did reach out to the team. I did ask them, would you like to come on and have a conversation about this before you even get to having your own AMA, just to talk about your project to a market of people who are actually paying attention to you. So we'll see whether or not they're interested. If they are, good. If they're not, oh, well, I tried. Down $75 billion in the market right now. Again, down to 103,628. So now we got to ask ourselves, what is going on with the market? Why are we not getting the reversal that we're expecting to see, or that we're looking for, or at least that I'm expecting to see from that point? And the answer to that is probably going to be data. And we need our, oh, God damn it, I can't. Is it an RSI? I don't think it's an RSI. Yeah, it's not the, God damn it. What? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm looking for, I used to have, Jesus Christ, why am I not finding? There used to be a Bitcoin heat map in the data right here. MACD indicator, all of this kind of shit right here. You know what? I hate this fucking website. I hate this fucking website. Let's just try Bitcoin heat map. All right, so now we have to put this back over here. I need to put this back in the show. My bad, guys. All right, so now let's look at where we are. This makes perfect sense now. What we're looking at right now is a push down into this range right here at 103.3, probably coming down to at least 102.8, somewhere in that range right there. That's going to be when we have swept the liquidity in this range. Could see it push down to 102, all the way down to 102,000 exactly before a reversal, in the event that there's any reversal to come. So we're seeing the liquidity being sucked dry right now, like it's made out of D, for the U.S. investors. Now, after we get to that point, there is a long way before we get to the next real pocket of liquidity, which is coming down into the 98,000 range. So the most likely scenario and the most likely play out is going to be a move, an aggressive move to 112,000 to pick up the liquidity up in that range. It's very smooth sailing right now. Except for a tiny little pocket about 105, 106,000 right now, as people are taking shorts, it looks like, into that range. So I would look for a strong and aggressive move up to at least 108,700 by the close of today or tomorrow. I think that we're going to get kind of a breakout move from that spot. I am guessing, based on the liquidity, if we look at it from a longer time frame, then we could see something that pops up a little bit different. But since what we're doing right now is like, we're pirates and all that kind of shit, it looks to me like, so the upside momentum here is going to be in the 111, 112 range. So going to be a long time before we see that 126,000 one more time, I think, anyway. So look for a move, look for a correction back up to about 112,000 over the next 2 days or something like that. But that's just speculation. Somebody just said Zcash to the moon. Shorts are printing right now for Zcash. The shorts are absolutely printing right now. If you got into a short at around 700, you, my friend, just won the fucking lottery. Okay. So, let that thing print for a little while. By the way, I'm not saying that's the end, but if you look at it from this context and you look at it from the pivot, there. We're not even into the breakdown zone right now. I would close mine at $400. And by the way, if you've got a couple X on it already, if you really had a nice little breakdown here and you're already up over 100%, I wouldn't get greedy at this point because you never know when you're going to see one of those crazy reversals. So I would be very, very careful, number one. And number two, I would set a full take profit at $400 just to see how it plays out. Now, if you look at the 50, RSI, it's kind of coming up right now at $270. I don't think that we're going to be hitting that for a few days. So within a couple days from there, probably into that 400 range. And what I think is over the next couple days, you're going to see this is going to continue up like this. And then this is going to continue down like this. And you're going to see it just kind of hit right there mid-November, right into that range. And I guess it's kind of aggressive like that. So make your money. Make your money. How is chasing liquidity bullish? It's not, unless you're chasing it on the top. What's happening is you've got leverage traders. And to be fair, if you're leverage trading right now, you're not bullish. That's not the bullishness of the market. So anything that we're doing right now is we're just observing what's going on in futures trading. We're not really accumulating. So in order for us to have a big pump, we need more spot holders continuing to accumulate. That will happen when we start to see a reversal, looking to see a reversal happen. So when that happens, then we'll get something out of it. Down to 78 billion down on the day. Yes, I did. I bought into Zebek. As a matter of fact, where are we at right here? 0.0037 right now. By the way, I got in 2 days ago. So I got in down here at 0.0030. So I'm about 20% on the holding. It's only like $1,000. Like, it's not a lot. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a gigantic amount to begin with. It was just something so that I had a taste of it, just in case, because I was looking around at, like, you know, what actually breaks out when the market starts to reverse and stuff like that. And I already told you guys that Fiat was going to break out, right? So Fiat went to $13 or 1.3 cents. And I said, guys, I cannot, I'm imploring you right now to go buy and then set yourself a sell order at 22. And guess what? Most of y'all did. Because guess what? You got that big, nice wick right there at the top, because when you got to 0.022, you guys let your sell orders kick in and you took a nice big profit off of that one. Look for it to come back down a little bit, maybe into this range right here, 18, 17, maybe breaking back down into 16 or 15 one more time. And if it does, buy it again. Look for that declining line. Okay. Now, for those of you that are wondering, Tom did say that he's changing. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about Dev, but this is not Dev, this is Fiat. Tom said that they're going to, he's kind of reorganizing the use cases for Fiat. He's got something exciting in mind. So right now, I think people are speculating on it, but they're not going to make a big move until it's completed and they know what the move is. You're just going to have some investors that are looking to make a profit, scalping it right now and getting themselves situated. So again, look for a dump back down. If you consider the Fibonacci move right there, look for a move back down into the 0.45 or at least the 0.5 at 1.7 cents. Hope that you can get back in at 1.5 cents. If you can, sweep the leg, Daniel son. I mean, I know it's Johnny, but it's my goddamn show. So, and then look for a big breakout from there. Pepe, nothing to write home about. Pepe just continues its slow bleed and collapse back down to the irrelevant areas. You know, I mean, all these, look, if market does what we want it to do, then we'll get a big pump out of it. But, you know, I mean, I'm not, look, I think utilities are going to matter a lot more than meme coins in this cycle. I'm not, and I don't know that that's going to be the case. Remember, I say that because Bitcoin's going to run first, then the major alts are going to run second, then the mid caps are going to run third, then the altcoins, the low caps are going to run, but meme coins are going to be part of the low caps as well. I think they're just going to kind of run independently. But when we get the blow off, if it happens, then, you know, we could see just a crazy meme coin season. Pepe starting to shoot. But the one crypto that I think is going to absolutely go bananas is going to be the Trump meme coin. Again, I think it's going to be the first 100 billion. So if you don't have any Trump meme right now, probably should get yourself at least a little bit, just a taste. Also, let's close that out and let's get over here on the 24-hour. Blocky up 61% right now. Fias up 12%. Dev up 9%. MK up 5%, another 5% on the day. Like to see MK get back to that 3 to 5 million market cap. Would feel a little bit of confidence there if you can get a nice little 10x from where it is right now. I think, in my opinion, would establish some confidence. You got Moon AI also. Again, the money is sitting over here. They're fractured right now. 250,000 in liquidity total between Moon AI and MK. If that was all in one project there, the market would, this thing would probably be at like 4 million market cap. So just to give you guys an FYI. TARS still continuing to struggle. Volt continuing to struggle. API struggling. Accelerating downward. Definity doing the same. Right wing. I don't know what to say about right wing yet. Urim is 34,000 market cap, 20,000 in liquidity. I think Urim's going to have another surge. It's going to be the site's going to launch within about 2 weeks. You guys saw the AMA that we did. So XVM Volt just kind of ranging right now. Mantra, again, 104 million market cap. It's not, I said 121 before. It's actually 100 million. So Bonk is at 1 billion market cap. Bonk is probably going to, that's the one that has no reason to even exist anymore. I don't know. It doesn't inspire confidence. And then API 3 at 65 cents. By the way, another perfect accumulation. I am down big on my API. I remember I got into it at $1 and then I got some more at 80 cents and it's just continued down. So we'll see whether or not we get a reversal on that. 24-hour DEX volume. Now you have a reason, by the way, to be concerned. Okay. The reason to be concerned is because 24-hour DEX volume is now down below 10 billion in those top three. That does mean that people are starting to step back right now and trade volume is starting to diminish. That's retail trade volume, most likely. So we're starting to see people get nervous with the market. And by the way, when we see that happen, when we see that sort of cleansing fire, if you will, that is when the market reverses. So, but it's also when it dumps. So, we'll see what happens. And then that's going to be it. Right at the 45-minute mark. So we done good today, dog. All right. So, guys, just have a little faith in this market. It's going to turn back around. Again, we could continue to dump into it. I still think down to 102,000. We're still bullish because that 102,000 number represents where that liquidity really is right now. And they're going to hunt it and they're going to seek it. And once they get it, then they'll stop selling because they will have sold into the range that they were trying to get to. And then you'll see some bullish momentum happen. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And remember, it's not financial advice. I'm always right. I'm handsomer than you, more handsome than you. I'm, stronger than you. I'm like you, only better. It's not financial advice, but I'm always.
I'm looking for the good life.